type annotations in TypeScript. In the previous lesson, we learned about variables and constants in TypeScript. In this lesson, we will learn about type annotations. A type annotation tells TypeScript what kind of value a variable is allowed to store. For example, we can tell TypeScript that a variable must store text. We can tell it that another variable must store a number. Let us get started. Open the TypeScript project folder in Visual Studio Code. Let us begin with a simple variable. Enter the statement shown on the screen. This statement creates a variable named username. The variable stores the text value John. The part after the variable name is the type annotation. The type annotation begins with a colon. After the colon, we write the type name. Here, the type name is string. The string annotation tells TypeScript that username should store text. Because John is a text value, the assignment is valid. The general syntax looks like this. The colon separates the variable name from the type. The type appears before the assignment operator. The assigned value must be compatible with the declared type. Let us add a console log statement. Save the file. Compile the project. Run the generated JavaScript file. The terminal should display the following output. Now let us try to assign a number to the same variable. TypeScript reports an error. Username was declared with the string type. A number cannot be assigned to a variable that is declared as a string. Instead of number, let us update with text Asha. The new value is also text. Therefore, the reassignment is valid and the compiler will not throw an error. Now let us learn about the number type annotation. Let us change the program. The variable name is user age. The type annotation is number. The initial value is 25. The number annotation tells TypeScript that this variable should store numeric values. We can assign another number to the variable. Both values are numbers, so the code is valid. We can compile the project and check no compiler errors. However, assigning text to the variable causes an error. The text value does not match the number annotation. TypeScript detects the problem before the JavaScript file is run. This is one of the main benefits of TypeScript. It can catch many incorrect assignments during development. Now let us look at the boolean type annotation. A boolean value is either true or false. The variable is named is student. The type annotation is boolean. The initial value is true. We can change the value from true to false. Both values are booleans. Therefore, the reassignment is valid. Now let us combine the three basic annotations in one program. Username stores text. User age stores a number. A student stores a boolean value. Each annotation makes the expected type clear. Save the file. Compile and run the program. The terminal should display this output. Now let us learn how type annotations work when a value is assigned later. Sometimes we need to declare a variable before we know its value. In that case, the type annotation is especially useful. The first statement declares city name as a string variable. It does not assign a value yet. The second statement assigns the text value London. Because London is a string, the assignment is valid. The type annotation tells TypeScript what kind of value can be assigned later. If we try to assign a number, say 100 to city name, compile the project. TypeScript reports an error. The variable was declared as a string. Therefore, the later value must also be a string. The same explanation holds for number and boolean types as well. When the value is already known, declaring and initializing the variable in one statement is usually clearer. When the value will only be available later, we can declare the type first and assign the value afterward. Now let us discuss type annotations with constant. We can write an annotation on a constant just as we do with let. Course name is explicitly declared as a string. Total lessons is explicitly declared as a number. Is published is explicitly declared as a boolean. Because these are constant declarations, each one must receive a value immediately. We cannot declare them first and do the initialization later. We already covered this in our previous video, where we discussed variables and constants. Now let us compare a constant with and without an explicit annotation. Both statements are valid. In the second statement, TypeScript examines the value and determines the type automatically. This is called type inference. Type inference is the topic of the next lesson. For now, understand that an explicit annotation is optional when TypeScript can clearly determine the type from the initial value. The type annotation is used by TypeScript during development and compilation. It does not become part of the generated JavaScript in the same form. Let us see this by compiling a small example. In the example, we have a string, number, and a boolean with type annotations. Save the file and compile the project. Open the generated demo.js file inside the dist folder. The generated JavaScript may look similar to this. The string, number, and boolean annotations are no longer present. JavaScript does not use TypeScript type annotation syntax. The annotations help TypeScript check the source code before generating JavaScript. This is important to understand. Type annotations are part of TypeScript's development time type system. They help detect mistakes, but the basic annotations are removed from the generated JavaScript. Let's call it a wrap and see what we learned. A type annotation tells TypeScript what kind of value a variable or constant should store. The annotation is written after the name and begins with a colon. We use string annotations for text values. We use number annotations for numeric values. We used boolean annotations for true or false values. We learned that assigned values must match the declared type. We also learned that a let variable can change its value without changing its type. We use annotations with constant declarations. In the next lesson, we will learn about type inference. We will learn how TypeScript can determine a value's type automatically, even when we do not write an explicit annotation. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more TypeScript tutorials.